welcome back to my channel. Today I am making a video on my life story, if you will. I am only 17 years old, so I have so much of my life ahead of me, but I thought I would do this. It's kind of like a mix of my job, my life, and kind of like just sitting down and talking with you guys, because I've had a lot to go through my life in the past 17 years, a lot of stuff, so I kind of just recorded the major events that have happened, and I wanted to talk about them and touch on them. So, yeah, and also before I get started, I want to tell you guys that I'm not uploading on Wednesdays anymore because it is too much work. And I'm not gonna lie, I don't have homework a lot of the days, but I'm just freaking lazy, and I deserve to be lazy. I am a senior in high school. I am in the process of applying to college, which I'm actually done with applying to colleges, so I'm just waiting for my applications, acceptance or rejection letters to come in. And I've honestly already gone into the school that I think I'm going to, but I'll talk about more about that at the end of the video. I'm just lazy, but I just also I feel like I don't have time for it, especially with the time change. So I'm just filming on the weekends now, and it's hard to do so. But there is a good reason for that. For the month of December, I'm going to be uploading every single day up until Christmas. So I'm going to call it 25 Days at Ashleigh, and you'll just be a whole joy with me 25 days in December. For the rest of this month, just uploading on Saturdays, which is only like 3 more Saturdays until December, I think. That is insane. So yeah. Also, I'm not sure this video is going up on Saturday or not because, like I've said, I'm lazy and I haven't been pre-filming my videos. I'm literally filming them the day or the day before I'm uploading them, which is so bad. My videos have not been up to quality, so I'm starting to film my Christmas videos now so that they will be up to quality. But if you just came over for my life story, let's hurry up and get started. So, we're going to start from the very beginning from when I was born. So I was born on July 20th, 2000 in Fort Riley, Kansas. And you're probably like, where is that? Well, Fort Riley, Kansas is in the middle of the country, middle of nowhere basically. I lived there until I was like 4 or 5. So I don't remember it at all. But Fort Riley is a military base in Kansas. And now you're probably wondering, well, if it was a military base, who in your family's in the military? Well, my dad is actually in the military. So I've moved around quite a bit of times, and I'll get more to that in the video. But yeah, so I was born in Fort Riley, Kansas. I have one brother. His name is Jordan. When I was born, he was 8 years old. And then I have 2 sisters, Michaela and Chelsea. You guys have seen both of them. I don't think you guys have seen my brother just because he doesn't live with me when I started my YouTube channel. When I started my YouTube channel, he was already graduated, so he doesn't live here, so I don't think I've ever shown you guys him, unless I was vlogging. And if you guys are wondering, we're all about 1, 2, or 3 years apart. So, like, Chelsea and I are 2 years apart, Michaela and Chelsea are 2 years apart, and then Jordan and Michaela are 2 years apart. And it's me, Chelsea, Michaela, Jordan, and youngest to oldest. So, yeah. So, I'm not talking about anything in Kansas because, frankly, to be honest, I don't remember freaking anything that happened there. And neither the next place that we moved to. So, the next place we moved from Kansas to Virginia. I'm not sure what military base we were on in Virginia because we only lived there for 6 months. And I was probably only 4 or 5 years old again. So, I just wanted to tell you guys like where I've lived before. And so then I moved from Virginia to Mississippi, which is the place where pretty much besides where I live now, everything went down. So I lived in Mississippi for a total of 6 years. I lived there from kindergarten to 5th grade. There I actually had met my first best friend. Her name is Brianna. She was my favorite friend ever. She was like 2 years younger than me, so whatever. But she lived right on the street, and I loved living there because literally I could go around the neighborhood and say who lived in each house, and here I can even tell you who my neighbors are. But I loved living there. And also there we actually had a big pool in the backyard, so we literally go swimming every single day until our fingers turned raisins. And in kindergarten, maybe 1st grade, 1st or 2nd grade, I learned how to swim. Actually, I feel like I learned how to swim before that, since I said I had a pool in my backyard. But at school, we had like a field trip to like the Y, I'm guessing, and we took a swim class there. So, yeah, I learned how to swim there. My brother actually probably taught me, but I learned how to swim like more there. And actually, fun fact, my mom forgot my swimsuit to pack it in my bag, so she had to bring it to me. And they were asking you, like, do you know how to swim? Do you not know how to swim? And people would say yes or no. And if they didn't know how to swim, they'd be in the shallow end. And if you did, you'd be in the deep end. Well, by the time my mom got here with my swimsuit, they didn't ask me, and I was put into the deep end, and I was freaking terrified. I noticed him a little bit, but I was not trusting myself. I was literally holding onto the walls, like, I can't swim, I'm scared. I'm like, you can do it. Like, I can tell you can swim. And I was like, no, I can't. So, yeah, fun fact. When I was only 6 years old, my parents actually got divorced. Since I was so young, I obviously didn't know what was going on. But now that I do know what's going on, it's kind of hard, especially since my dad is in the military. My mom lives in a completely different state than me, so it's a lot harder to see her. Most children of divorced families, they see their parents every weekend, but I only see my mom in like major holidays in the summer, so I don't see her as much. She does come here obviously for like events, like when I'm graduating, she's gonna come here and stuff, but I don't see her as often as most people see both their parents. Actually, when my parents first got divorced, I lived with my mom, and so naturally my mom and my siblings and I packed up our bags and we moved to another house. I don't know if it was in the same city. It was definitely not in the same city, in the same neighborhood, nothing. But it was probably like 30 minutes to an hour out from where my dad lived originally. And so we moved into another house and we lived there. And honestly, this whole part of my life is such a blur because I don't remember much. It was like when I was 6 and 7 years old. So I don't remember much when it happened. But I remember my mom and I, we moved so many times in different houses. I don't know why, but moved a lot in the time span of like a year or two in Mississippi, in just different cities. And so I want to say I attended one school because I remember when my dad lived, my mom drove us all the way to that school when we lived with her. We still went to the same school, but then I think we moved out of like the limits. My mom was tired of bringing us to that school, so we moved schools. And actually at one of those schools, I met this boy named Pedro, and he was my first boyfriend. Which is now what I'm saying, thinking about it, did I actually go to different schools? I know I did, but I don't remember going to a different school at all. I met this guy named Pedro, and he was my first boyfriend, and apparently he was so cute, according to my 3rd grade self. But yeah, we dated. I don't know how long we dated, but I was definitely jealous because he was holding hands with another girl. Actually, I lied. That was 2nd grade. And also in 2nd grade, my mom, I can't remember if it was my mom or her boyfriend at the time, but they received a job offer in California, so we packed up our bags and moved to actually Southern California in the Vista Oceanside area. If y'all know where I'm talking about, that's where I used to live. So my family and I, my mom, her boyfriend, my brother, my sisters, and I, we lived in a 3-bedroom apartment. And this is when being the only boy comes in handy. My brother had his freaking own room, and I had to share my room with both my sisters. So we had a bunk bed and just like a regular twin bed, you know, and I had to share with them. And my brother had his own room. I also experienced one of my first racism moments whenever I lived in California. So I had a friend, I'm going to call her real name. I've talked about this girl too. I'm not sure if I made up a real name. I think I actually called her real name there too. But I'll have the video that I talked about her up here in the eye, my first time getting written up. But she also, her name's Patricia, she had Cheetos one day. I'm actually not sure if it was Patricia or Sydney. But they weren't right. They were like some kind of Hispanic. I think they were Mexican. But they were Hispanic nonetheless. And I asked her if I could have a Cheeto because I was like, can I have a Cheeto? And she was like, no. And I was like, why? And she was like, because you're black. And that was like the first time I ever experienced that. I don't remember how I responded or if I told my mom about that, but that was one of the first times I experienced racism. We also had really, really crazy neighbors below us. So I don't remember, they were weird, they like were Satanists or something, which isn't a bad thing. Wait, well, hold up. Satanists. I just got Satanist mixed up with, what's it called when you don't have religion? Atheist. I mean, I'm not going to get into that, but they were weird, they were crazy, they were demonic. So one day, my sisters and I were just walking around. We had like so many friends in our apartment complex because that's where we lived, and we just had friends. It was cool, honestly. And so I don't remember, I think we were walking to my sister's friend Maylina's house, and then one of our people that lived below us started chasing us with like a sword. He was chasing us with something that we were scared, and we were literally like crying. And I'm not sure why we just didn't go back home. I'm not sure if my mom was at home or something, but we literally ran to Maylina's house, which is my sister Michaela's, her friend, and we were like banging on the door like, please let us in. We were like screaming, crying because he was freaking chasing us. And I don't remember like that for sure, but he was chasing us with a sword or a knife or something. And also one time we were going to the car, and my mom, I was just walking, I was like in 3rd grade, so I was walking across the street, didn't look both ways, And my mom was like, Ashleigh! And I literally almost got ran over by the person that lived below us. And he wasn't just like, oh my God, he wasn't appalled by it, he wasn't taken back. He was laughing, because he almost ran me over. So I don't know what was wrong with them. I'm not sure if they were racist, if they were just crazy in the head. I don't know, but oh my God, I was like literally scared of them. So I actually only lived in California for the 3rd grade year of my life when I was, is that 7 or 8? That's 8 for me, whole 8 years. So yeah, and we actually did do some touristy things. Went and saw the Hollywood sign. That's all I remember. But yeah, we only lived there for 1 year. And I didn't mention that my grandparents actually live in Seattle, Washington. So we were literally living in Mississippi. So moving to California across the country really put us closer to my mom's family, which she probably liked a lot. So whenever we moved back to Mississippi, we actually lived with my dad. And some people always ask me, why do you live with your dad and not your mom? The main reason is because my dad has a more stable income, or at least he used to, because my mom, she didn't have a degree. So my dad had a more stable income. He was in the military, and he always could provide us with what we needed. So that's why the main reason we live with my dad, okay? People always ask me, and it's just because I didn't choose it. I don't choose to live with my dad. If I could choose, I'd probably want to live with my mom, but I don't choose to. And I actually could have changed to live with my mom, but it was in the middle of my high school years, and I just didn't want to do that. I just want to graduate in the same high school. Even though I hate my high school, I just want to, stay in the same high school, graduate with the people I went in with, and stuff like that. So in 2009, my grandfather actually passed away. We called him Granddaddy, but he passed away. I was 9 years old. If you guys want to know a life hack about like all these years I'm telling y'all, whatever year it was, that was likely how old I was. My birthday's in July though, so I could be like 8 or 9, but I was 9 because it was in September. So he passed away whenever I was 9 years old, and we were living in Mississippi at the time, and he was living in South Carolina, and so we didn't see him often, but he actually died of ALS, and he was slowly dying. I'm not sure if you guys know this, but ALS basically slowly kills you. I'm not sure that's 100% true. I'm not sure if that's 100% true, but I remember when I was really young, he first started using a cane. Then he started using a little electric scooter, and we go to Disney World. We actually go to Disney World every summer around my birthday. So literally almost all of my birthdays, I've celebrated them in a resort. Yeah, we just stay in a resort, and that was when I spent my birthday most of my years. And we actually started going when I was born. So yeah, obviously not every birthday, but a lot of them I have been in Florida. But yeah, when we go to Disney World, we'd like sit on his lap on his scooter, and I was like, I don't have to walk, because walking at Disney World is the hardest thing ever. He passed away of ALS, and so he went from a cane to a electric scooter to not even being able to talk or feed himself. So he had like a little thing that he could click, and it would just talk for him. So I really didn't know what was going on. I didn't know what was happening, and now that I'm a lot older, I understand. And it's a really sad thing. It was probably a really hard thing for my grandma to go through. In 2010, I actually figured out that I had scoliosis, and there's a crazy story behind how I figured it out. So I remember bringing home a permission form for my dad to sign for students that were going to USM, University of Southern Mississippi. That's right where I live, Southern Mississippi. Students that were going there were coming to our school to check our backs to see if we had scoliosis for like an experiment, I guess. And so one of the students checked my bag, and it was kind of like a phone, and they put it on your bag, and it would like measure it. So they checked it, and they were like, ooh, like, I'm not sure, or they're probably like, she has it, but I get the professor to make sure. So the professor came, and he checked it, and he was like, yeah, she has it. And so he called my father, and I'm pretty sure after that we went to the doctors and everything. I can't remember at all. All I remember is how I figured it out. But yeah, is it diagnosed? Is that the right word? I don't think that's the right word, but I have scoliosis, and I have to, whenever we moved here where I live now, I went to physical therapy every Friday, and I was missing school for that in the afternoon. And then I also had to wear a back brace, which I have right here. But I had to wear this at night, and so this part would go down on my hip. I actually tried putting it on now, and I have gained significantly a lot of weight since 6th grade, which, makes sense. But yeah, this is what it looks like. I chose this little like zebra print / cheetah print. I thought it was cute at the time. Yeah, wearing that really helped, and I had an exercise book that I had to do all my physical therapy exercises in, and since then I have not had to have surgery. Thank God, but if it was a little bit worse, I had to. My dad has all the x-rays, but I could probably ask him for them, and he'll probably give them to me. But I think the worst my curve was at, oh, I'm not sure if it was 18 or 12. I really have no idea, but it wasn't bad enough so where I'd have to have surgery, which I'm extremely lucky for. So like I said, whenever I figured out I had scoliosis, we were in the middle of moving. So in 2011, we moved to where I live now, which is South Carolina. And whenever I moved here, I didn't want to move here because where my grandma lives, she lives here too. She lives in the country. And I was like, I don't want to go to the country. No thanks. No. And then we moved here and I was like, oh, it's like not that bad. I love it. So yeah, I mean, I don't love it, but it's not that bad. Not how I thought it was at all. So yeah, we moved here whenever I was 11 years old. Went here from 6th grade to on and on. And this is where my dad is originally from. So literally all my dad's side of the family lives here. Currently, whenever my parents got divorced, my mom had to stay back in Mississippi whenever we moved here because she wasn't gonna move with us because they were divorced. And my brother also went to school in Mississippi, and so she didn't want to leave him there alone with no family. When I moved here, I was starting 6th grade, and I decided to play an instrument because both my sisters did, and I wanted to too. Chelsea played the saxophone, Michaela played the clarinet, and I decided that I wanted to play the clarinet too and copy Michaela. I started playing the clarinet in 6th grade, and actually in band, I met one of my friends. Her name is Juana, and we started talking, and she became my best friend here. So nothing really significant happened in middle school besides I graduated. And then I went to high school. In 2014, I began high school. And if you ask me right now, probably one of my best years was in 10th grade. I had the tightest knit of friend group. I never felt alone, and it was just like the best year for me. I always had fun at lunch. I always had something to do. I was always somewhere, and that was probably the best year so far. And going on with band, my 9th grade year of high school, we got 2nd place at state finals, which is a major accomplishment. There's probably 13 bands there, and you also have to make finals. So it was a major accomplishment. Years before, which I wasn't in band years before, but years before, people would literally get our band was like a steady 5th place, and so it was amazing to get 2nd place. And that show was entitled Metal. Rock On. I think it's this actually. Is it this or this? I think it's this. Rock On. And then my 2nd year band, 10th grade year, we actually got 2nd place at state finals. That show was called One. So, yeah. I actually loved band then. I loved it. I didn't want to quit. And actually, I also had the opportunity to go to Hawaii with band. I went there summer of 10th grade year, after 10th grade year. So, it was super fun there. And then actually after my 10th grade year, I was informed that my teacher was retiring. And I was devastated. I loved that teacher. When you have a band director, you really get close to them because you see them more than you probably see your parents. So during the summer, we had band camp from 8 to 8, literally 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. So we saw him all day, and we had band class every day as well. So you see him a lot, and so you get really attached to them. So whenever I figured out that he was retiring, I was like, oh my god, this is going to be a new journey for the whole band. So junior year comes around, and we have a new band director, and I mean, he's doing his thing, but he wasn't as good in my opinion as the old band director, and I just didn't like what was going on with the band. It was just, it's like he didn't know how to control us because our band is insane. And so senior year, I came to the decision that I wanted to quit band just because it wasn't for me. One, I didn't have the passion anymore, and two, we were just sucking. We went down the journey. Like, it was like we were like at a very high before my teacher retired, and when we retired, we went down really far. So we got 5th place that year, which is again still really good, but just did we get 5th place? We got 6th place. We got 6th place, which is still decent, but I just couldn't be in band anymore, and I was so happy I'm not in it anymore. So happy. Over the summer of my junior year, we had a pool party. So actually, over the summer, I think it was during the school year, like very beginning, early in the school year. but we had a pool party, and I was very hesitant on going because it was literally in my neighborhood. And I was like, I don't want to go. But my friends did some convincing and convinced me to go to the pool party, and I was like, fine, I'll go, guys. So I drove over there. I probably could have walked, but I skirted over there, and I was having fun. And I met a guy, my boyfriend, my ex-boyfriend now, but I met him, and we started talking. We didn't talk at the pool party, but we started talking after it, and I was like on Snapchatting him, and at first I didn't like him. He was weird to me. I didn't have any interest in him. I was like, why is he talking to me? Because I think he Snapchatted me. I don't know. I was just like, ew, I don't like him. But literally the next day I started falling for him, and from that our relationship moved super duper fast. I'm not gonna get into the nitty gritty, but it moved really fast, and I loved him. He was the first for a lot of things for me, and I don't regret the relationship, but because the relationship taught me a lot about life. But one thing that I want to say, moving forward to my next relationship, is that relationship was really physical. I feel like beyond physical boundaries, we didn't, what's the word? We didn't mesh. We didn't have anything in common. To be honest, I feel like we didn't have anything in common. We didn't have anything to talk about. And yeah, just being honest here. I was so physically attached to him that whenever we broke up, I was a mess, guys. I had a meltdown, and he was really good. He was really comforting me about it, and he was really good. But one thing that I think really like had me the wrong way was like the day after we broke up. He asked me if I could take his senior pictures for him, and I was like, sure. So we went out, and I took his senior pictures for him just because I was being a nice person. And yeah, the next day we still hung out right after we broke up, which again, don't recommend it all. But like literally a couple days later, we also hung out, and it was weird because I felt like he wanted to be with me, but he didn't want to be with me. I don't know what his intentions were, but I feel like we literally went to the mall, and we were just sitting there, and he was like looking at me like he wanted to kiss me, but like he didn't want to kiss me because we already broke up. And that, I think that made it 10 times harder for me, because he was like probably kind of like carrying it on when we already had broken up. So that was probably made it really hard for me, because I had like second chance hope that he would come back to me, and he didn't. And the breakup wasn't mutual. I was so sad about it, but you know, you get what you get. And honestly, looking back on the relationship, I am so happy it ended. I'm a much better person. I'm dependent on myself. Whenever we started dating, I depended on him, which sounds weird, but I depended on him because he was like my only friend. He was my best friend. And losing your best friend and your boyfriend in one day, it's hard. But now looking back on it, I am so happy that he broke up with me. And it sucks that I can't be like, that's why I broke up with him, because I didn't break up with him. He broke up with me. But honestly, I'm glad that the relationship ended. It wasn't working out. We weren't meshing well. And we got in fights a lot. So not physical fights or anything, but we just had like verbal fights. Like we disagreed with each other. We clashed, and it wasn't something to be goals to or something at all. And also, whenever he broke up with me, my whole family was on a cruise. And like I said, he was basically my only friend. So whenever we broke up, I had no one to talk to about it, because my family was on a cruise. I couldn't call my mom. I couldn't call my sisters. And it was hard for me. So I figured out that I had keratoconus in May of this year. I was rubbing my eye, and like a cataract kind of thing popped in my eye. It wasn't a cataract, but that's what my vision had looked like. And I was freaking out. So the next day, I booked an appointment, same day, to a doctor, and the doctor diagnosed with me. And the doctor diagnosed me with keratoconus. So since then, I had to see a corneal specialist, and that doctor is amazing. I love him. He's really cute. I'm not gonna lie. But I saw him a lot of times. He prescribed me eye drops, and I had my first surgery. Actually, it was kind of technically my second surgery, but like really my first surgery, and that was corneal cross-linking. I had that on August 22nd of this year, and I missed the whole first week of school because of it, because I wanted to have it as soon as possible, and the first week of school was the best week to have it, because first week of school, what are you doing? Nothing. So I stayed home. I have vlogs of it if you guys want to watch them, linked up here in the eye. But yeah, and now Atlanta's where I am now in my senior year of high school. This year I actually applied to National Honor Society. I actually did last year as well. Didn't get in last year, didn't get in again this year. This year I was last year I was like kind of sad, but this year I'm super sad because I was like expecting to get in. I was like super excited, and I just feel like I deserve to get in. I feel like I have all the requirements, and you know, they're missing out a vital, great part that they deserve in their society. They're missing out. Sorry, they're missing out. It was really hard for me whenever I got it. I was literally crying in class. I didn't want anyone to see me. So I literally had like my head down, and I was like, had my hand here, like trying to like know that people weren't seeing it. No one's asked me if I was okay, asked me anything. I'm not sure if they knew that I was crying, or they just didn't want to ask me anything or talk to me, but it was really hard for me because someone else in that class got into it, and I didn't, and it was hard. So now I am in the process of, like I said at the beginning of the video, I actually already applied to all of my colleges. I'm going to make a whole video on applying to colleges and what colleges I applied to and what colleges I got into, but so far I've gotten into 3 colleges, and one of them is the top or really, really good nursing school. So I'm really excited. I am going to major in nursing when I go to high school, when I go to college, university, and I'm planning on going out of my city, but not out of my state, because out-of-state tuition is crazy. But yeah, that's where I am now. I've experienced so many things in my life, ups, downs, happy, sads, and it made me who I am now as a person. I'm super excited to go to college, and I'm like super excited to like look back on this video and be like, oh, that's when I wanted to be a nurse. Like, shoot, that wasn't for me. Or shoot, I really came through with that. I really wanted to be a nurse. So, you know, whatever happens in the future. Also, I had this Christmas tree up because I am pre-filming videos like I've told you all at the beginning of this video. So I wanted to have my room decorated for Christmas, and I'm planning on adding more things, hopefully. But yeah, that's all that I wanted to talk about today's video. I hope this video helped. I hope this video made you understand who I am. I don't know what to say. I don't know. Did this make you realize who I am as a person? I don't know, but if it did, give it a thumbs up, and I love you guys so much, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye. I forgot about my YouTube channel again! So clearly I forgot to talk about my YouTube channel, and clearly it was an important part of my life, but in 2012, I think, it was during my 7th grade year, so it must have been 2012, I began my YouTube channel, and I actually before that had multiple channels. One was called Ashleigh's Hairstyles. I don't think the channel is up anymore, but you can look at them, and one was called, like, Fashion and Beauty, or Beauty and Fashion. I feel like I had a good 3 channels before this channel. I really wish I could go back and watch those videos, but I think I deleted the channel, and the only one I remember is Ashleigh's Hairstyles. So, bummer. So I started on my YouTube channel, and I think I didn't include it because it's not anything important. YouTube is a vital, like, it's an amazing thing. I love doing it, and it changed who I am today. It's like my major hobby. If I wasn't doing YouTube, I don't know what I would be doing, but it's like a person to talk to me. It's giving me a community of people to talk to, and even though I'm not the biggest yet, I've been doing YouTube for like, hell, in 2012, 2017, that's 5 years that I've been doing YouTube, and I haven't received the amount of subscribers that some people have in a year, and it's hard, I'm not gonna lie, but I still like doing it. I'm not doing it for the amount of subscribers I have or for the money. I'm doing it for myself. And so, yeah, I guess that's all I had to say about my YouTube channel. And now I don't have to worry about forgetting it because I said it. But, yeah.